All right, everyone. I think we'll get started now. I'm going to have probably a few more people join as we go, but I'll get started with our product demo today. To introduce myself, my name is Thomas. I'm with the sales team here at OneSignal, and I'll be guiding you all through a product demo. We'll try to touch on as much as we can in terms of getting you a nice overview of the product and how to use it. And any questions that you have, we can take live afterwards, and then I can leave you with a few emails in terms of follow-up, whether you need further support or if you need questions with sales, pricing, overall platform pricing, anything that you need from there. To get started, obviously going to share my screen so you guys can see it. And let me do that. Perfect. So when we log into OneSignal, here we'll land on the home page. And then when we log in here, it's going to take us directly to our dashboard. So this is where everything is housed for OneSignal. So within OneSignal, all of your applications, your websites, you can integrate directly here. It's great because we don't have a limit on how many that you can integrate. So if you're an organization, you have multiple websites, multiple apps, you are free to integrate them all here, and they're obviously all going to be split up. Just to give you an overview of what you're seeing here, the total amount of users that visit your site or your app will be collected here, and then you have your subscribed users that will show up here. The great thing about OneSignal, we do charge based on subscribed users. So if a user unsubscribes, they will be automatically removed from your subscribed users and you won't be billed for them. Jumping into one of these apps, once you get in there, you'll see a little bit more detailed view of the app itself. So here it'll show you the amount of users subscribed, your monthly active, and then your total amount of users. You can then segment by the platform. You can also check by day and by year in addition to the month. Revoked users are users that have unsubscribed from your notifications but still remain active on the site. So for example, if one day you send 6, 7, 8 too many notifications to your users and they kind of get fed up, they unsubscribe, you'll see it appear here. Though they'll still remain active on the site, they have unsubscribed from your notifications. Moving into the users column. So once you have OneSignal integrated on your website, we will begin going in and gaining information on your users, which is pretty great in terms of the amount of capabilities we have of what gets tracked. So here we'll be able to see if the user is subscribed or not, last active and first session, the device type they're on, how many sessions they've had on your site or app, the version of the app, the country, IP address, which we can turn this off if needed. With different areas, it does differ. We can actually even track location point if you are tracking location through your site or your app. Usage on your platform, the actual language they're using on their specific device. And then we get into tags. So tags are simple key values that you can integrate via button presses or visiting certain pages on your site that you can start building data on your users. One of the great things about OneSignal is that it's super easy to use. You're obviously seeing the UI here, but everything you see you can also do through our API. But for example here, if you need more info on data tags, you just click on the data tags and it takes you directly to our documentation. This is standard for everything on our dashboard. So for example, if you get to a certain part of the website that you don't understand or you need further info on.
Every day, and there's something where I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, that was partially done.
Yeah, that happens. Where's your skill set?
My skill set.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Back here with the segmentation, you're able to segment from all the different filters that what we saw from the previous page on the All Users tab. So with that data tags included, say for example, I'm just going to bring up an example site that we have. So for tagging, if we have data tags set up and we want to tag via a button push, so we want to tag a VIP user, you can simply push this and any correlation on your site, whether you have a news site or if you have an e-commerce site and the button is stocks or fashion or shoes or clothing, Just by simply pushing the button, the tag will register under the user, and then you're able to segment by those tags in particular. So this works great for cart abandonment, for specific items, segmented, filtered messages based on certain things. So if you want to send messages based on shoes or stocks or whatever it is, if someone comes and actually adds something to their cart, and before they check out, they don't check out, you can have that tag send an automated message to the user, which I'll send you a couple links to a little bit more in-depth of a review that shows you how to actually set this up. But you actually have all of these capabilities through OneSignal, as well as different marketing funnels, drip campaigns, all done through tagging. It's a very powerful tool. Show you how to make a segment real quick here. Everything we saw on the All Users tab, including the data tags, can be found here to segment your users. So if we want to, for example, target all of our users whose last session was greater than 48 hours ago, so from the past 2 days, we're able to create a live segment here, and it'll give us an estimation. So that's 386 people that will receive a filtered message from that thread. From there, again, if you wanted to use more tags, you can do an or, and then you can use user tags. So if we wanted to target everyone who has not been on the site within the past 2 days, and the key value is fashion or shoes or clothing, you're able to set up that data tag here as well. Jumping in to actually creating a push notification, you're able to send all messages directly from the dashboard. But again, if you would like to do it from the API, that's also fine. This is where you actually create your push. So you're able to send push notifications from here. And then if you wanted to set up some automated messages, we have the capabilities of setting that up through here. This would also be linked to our documentation in terms of creating specific rules and subsets of automated messages. But going back into here, you would obviously create the templates first before you create the rules. And we'll touch on that here once we start creating a little push notification. So from here, the audience, which was the first thing we went over, the users. So you can either send to your whole audience, or you can send to a particular segment. So a lot of our partners here, they have different segments, whether they segment by country, you have a lot of international users, or if you want to segment it by a specific genre of music, clothing again, publishing, you're able to do all that here where you're able to filter your audience. For simplicity, I'm just going to send it to all. And then here is where you're actually going to craft your push notification. So for example, if we were to do Thomas's greatest site in the world, that's the name of my site. We're going to add a couple emojis. So then we can see here what it's going to look like. Subtitle is for iOS only, so if you'd like to fill it out, great. If not, you don't have to. And then for the message, come by and check out our new Jordans. For those of you who don't know, those are shoes. And then we can add some more emojis, make it look good. So this is what it would look like on Android devices, on iOS, web for Mac OS, Windows, and Android. We are integrated with all the platforms in terms of Android and iOS. You do need a mobile app to send notifications to iOS devices. If you only have a website at this point, you're able to send via Mac OS, Windows, and Android. So Android is available via web push on Android devices. However, iOS has not opened it up yet at this point. So these are the two mobile apps. And then if you have a web push website, you're able to do it through the last three. Going further down under the options categories, here you're able to sort and set up options for all the specific settings on the operating systems. So for iOS, you can send different badges, sound, category, and just going to call out again on the right. If you need further clarification on what a specific thing is, you can click here, what's category for iOS. It'll take you directly to the documentation where you will find exactly what it is. And then going down, you can set it up for Android, rich images for media. So for example, if here we wanted to upload a photo, We're going to go and we can drag and drop it. I'm just going to search via web images. So if we want to search for Jordans, yeah, there we go. Here's some cool Jordans. Let's see, I'm going to go with the Jordan 1s. We'll upload that picture. Looks great. And let's save it. Perfect. Now we go into iOS. Nice. Look at that. So that's our notification that's going to go out. Thomas's greatest site in the world. Come by and check out our new Jordan shoes. And we get some more notifications there. So this is what our notification will look like. One thing that you can do is if you do have a lot of international users, we do have the support where you can set up customized messages to each of your languages. So for example, if you wanted to do it to English and Portuguese speaking, you can actually have a customized title, subtitle, message. We don't translate it for you because we don't want there to be like a miscommunication. So we let you do the translation. However, we do support it. So if you wanted to translate it, we show you all of this here and you're able to send out the messages. Once you've customized everything, and again, once you save these, you do it once, you're able to go in and re-edit them. So you're not going in there and setting this every single time you're going to send a notification. But this will show you some context based on how in-depth you can get. Like if you want to send a specific sound, you have the control of doing that, different pictures, background data. Getting into the bottom here, we're going to do a launch URL. So this is my website. Welcome to my page. Let's link this up here. So that'll be the launch URL once our notification does go out. And then we go down here. You can set a priority. Time to live is great. So if you're sending notification based on a sale, say it's a 24-hour flash sale, and if someone has their computer off or their phone is off, they're on a plane, for some reason they don't get it for 24 hours, after 24 hours, the notification will die. So for that means it won't go out. So you won't get people 24 hours after the fact saying there's no notification that came in. Under action buttons, this actually allows your audience to interact with the notification. So with an action button, say you were planning an event and within the action button, it's like, okay, click here for book a meeting, or click here for clothing, click here for coffee, whatever it may be. With action buttons, you're able to set that up and get that going in terms of having your audience actually click on your notification and be able to push specific buttons to interact with it. Finally, we get to scheduling. So within scheduling, you're able to send it immediately, or you can set it at a particular time. So say it's 11 p.m. And you're crafting a notification to send out first thing in the morning. Rather than have to wake up and set that, you can set the time now, and you can actually even optimize by time zone. So if you want to optimize it by a certain time zone, say you want everyone to receive it in the morning, whether it's 9 a.m., 8 a.m., you're able to set that up with OneSignal. Intelligent delivery is an algorithm that we use that pushes the notification out within a 24-hour time period that the user is most likely going to open the notification. This is one of our paid features at this point of time. But we've seen a huge increase in click-through rates when used with intelligent delivery. And obviously it's for anything that's not time sensitive. So for example, if we have a customer or a user, his name is Joe, and he always opens up his notifications at 10 a.m. We're gonna send it to him at 10 a.m. because that's when he's gonna click on the notification and increase that click-through rate, increase that ad revenue, have them come to your site and continue re-engaging your clients. So from here, we're going to just send this immediately. We're going to click confirm, make sure everything looks good. So we're going to send this to everyone. That's 390 people. Here's the title. Here's the contents. We're going to send it right away. And there's the launch URL. Keep an eye on this top right corner here. Once we click send message, before the page even loads, there's the notification, Thomas's greatest site. We're going to click on it. It's going to link us back to the site that we had the URL launch on. Super fast, super accurate. Here's the message data here. So here in real time, we're going to track all the clicks. This was the click I just made. As it gets sent to the rest of the 390 people that have already received it, when they click on it, and if this wasn't a demo account, they would click on it more. But since it's just a demo account, we had my click on here with your guys' notifications. As you have bigger audiences, average click-through rates range anywhere from about 0.5 to 8%, depending on the content, time, when you send a message, what the message is. But here we'll show you the actual data from your notifications. You can then sort it by the last 30 minutes, 24 hours, and 5 days. If you scroll down here, you'll be able to see a bit of content from what was sent, the messages, all the settings that we have configured already. And if you go into delivery, this is your delivery log where you can actually see all the messages sent out, your click-through rates, different percentages, what is sent, what has not been sent, and what have you. At this point in time, I'm going to pass the mic back off to participants and see if we have any questions. So let me pull up the chat box. Let's see here. All right, so the chat is open for some Q&A. I will now take some questions to anyone that has any. If they need any clarification, go over anything in more detail, I'm happy to do that from here. And we can revisit some of this stuff if you have any more questions with it. So anyone who wants to put in a question within the chat box, happy to answer it for you here. All right, Felix. So we're looking for a solution through OneSignal that had pushed notices to iPad users. The notice needs to pop up on the screen no matter if the app is running or not. That's great. Then the notice needs to stay until so far, show the app is running. So let's see, the app notice needs to, app is running or not. So Felix, to answer your question, with OneSignal, we can send mobile push notifications to iOS. So as long as your company does have a mobile app, OneSignal can send the notification to your users. And you can customize the notification settings. So whether you want it to go with a certain priority to the lock screen, even if the app is not running or is running, it will get sent to them. With in-app messages, which are messages that get launched in the app, that is something that we are releasing in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and it's going to be reserved for our paid accounts only to launch. But with that, within the app, say you open up an app and you want to launch an in-app message, you can actually program that in-app message to launch and not go away until they acknowledge it. And that's one of the powerful functionalities of in-app, not to mention that it goes out to all of your users, not only your subscribed users. So with notifications, with push in general, it can only reach people that have opted in to receive those notifications. With in-app, you can actually target all of your users without the need of them going in to opt in or not. I hope this does answer your question. I can send over some more documentation that'll provide more clarity to this. But that, yes, we do power iOS, iPad notifications. You just would need a mobile app. And then with that mobile app, we can then use it to power the in-app message. Great question. Let's see, do we have any more questions? Happy to answer any questions from some of our great. Yeah, I'll follow up with some email. Yeah, no worries. I'll email it up to you guys. What I can do too is if you don't have any further questions at this point, we can end the webinar and I can leave you with a couple of different emails that we can send out some further documentation to. So I'm going to put it in the chat here. Support@OneSignal. Once you've integrated and signed up for the website, you will have a OneSignal account. It'll be under the free account, but you are able to send everything to support@OneSignal. For any help with pricing, features that come within the free plans or the paid plans, whether it's questions about data or what is shared, what isn't shared, you can reach out to sales@onesignal.com, and that'll go to one of either myself, we have Brett on the team, Matt, and Megan, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as we can in terms of any pricing. We can also answer any product-related questions. We do all have really good product knowledge in terms of going through it with you and setting up a demo, a one-on-one if needed for any further support. But if there are no other questions at this point in time, I think we're going to end the webinar here. I don't see anyone else putting in any questions, but it was great sharing all this with you guys. I look forward to speaking to you guys a little bit more in depth in the future. Thank you all for being part of the OneSignal community, and we look forward to helping you all. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Colin. All right. Have a good one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.